Business editor Ari Ravinovich joins us now to look at some of the day's top business stories. And Ari, there's talk of future interest rate cuts tonight as the cost of living starts to fall.
Yeah, but the good news is, Melissa, that we pretty much got evidence today that the Bank of Canada will it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that they will be cutting interest rates next week. Although it isn't actually a guarantee, it's hard to understand why they wouldn't at this point, because inflation last month cooled to 2.7% for year-over-year price growth, and analysts were calling for 2.8%, so it was actually even better than expected. And May's reading was 2.9%, so it is on the downward trend. The Bank of Canada's ultimate goal is 2%. We're almost there, and now the probability of a rate cut, according to most analysts, stands at 87% for next week's meeting by the Bank of Canada. So again, it's not guaranteed, but hard to imagine why they wouldn't at this point, although there may have been a few blips in the report. For instance, core inflation, which strips away gasoline prices, which, by the way, contributed to the biggest price decline in this report. But there was also, so core inflation was unchanged, and food inflation actually did accelerate for the second straight month. So that is going to affect people at the grocery stores, for instance. They're not going to feel as much relief as this report may suggest. But at least good news for those with mortgages, likely going to be paying a little bit less month to month.
Okay, good to know. Now, investors are were backing Donald Trump in a big way yesterday after that assassination attempt, but that started to ease today, Ari.
Yeah, at least it seems that way, Melissa, because, well, if we're using Donald Trump's media company, Trump Media Technology Group, that's the parent company of Truth Social, as the gauge for this so-called Trump trade, well, that stock ended up losing more than 9% today, but it gained more than 30% yesterday in response to the assassination attempt over the weekend. And that assassination attempt, many political analysts as well as predictive data are suggesting that it may have boosted Donald Trump's chances of being elected president. So there is somewhat of a rally on stocks in the sense that if Trump becomes president, it could be good for capital markets because, typically it means that it could mean lower taxes and less regulation. Again, mostly benefiting just capital markets, but that's why we call it the Trump trade. And if, again, the Trump stock itself for the company is any indicator, it may be losing a little bit of momentum, but it's hard to deny that his chances have increased since that incident, Melissa.
All right, and now a popular food app is expanding its partnership with the large grocery store chain.
Yeah, and touching on what we first talked about with food inflation, so this kind of improves two areas, both food affordability as well as combating food waste. Food Hero aims to do just that. The Montreal-based app it announced that it's expanding its strategic partnership with Empire Co., the parent company of Sobeys, Foodland, and other grocery brands. So it estimates that customers will be able to save 50 or even 60% on certain food items day to day. And the move is being celebrated as a way to combat food affordability, and we should see it pretty soon if you download the Food Hero app.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Ari. We will talk to you again tomorrow.
Talk to you then.